Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Pokemon Binder video. Today is the 26th of April, which in the Netherlands, if you don't know, is a holiday. It's the day that we're celebrating the King's birthday, also known as Koningsdag. And Koningsdag means one very important thing for Pokemon card collecting: flea markets. People up and down the country are holding flea markets and selling their old shit on Koningsdag, and I'm gonna be there and I'm gonna see what kind of Pokemon cards I can find this year, and I think it'll be bigger than last year for Pokemon cards. They've exploded in popularity and there's gonna be a lot of kids there that I'm gonna have to negotiate with, but I can't wait to see what kind of cards I can find, and maybe they'll even be collectors. So time to get on my bike and I'll see you there. Sheesh! Okay, I'll do some post-commenting on this one. The atmosphere was pretty great, but as with every flea market, there's a lot of trash. Usually I like trash, and some of my favorite things to pick up on Koningsdag are CDs. I have a pretty broad taste in music, however, the CDs I saw this year were pretty disappointing. Lots of old people music, and I didn't manage to find a single CD I wanted to take home. Pokemon cards, on the other hand, were plenty. However, 95% of the sellers were like under the age of 15, so it felt a bit awkward. A lot of the cards were in pretty bad condition, but I picked up what I could. I honestly expected to find a lot more people my age, like mid to late 20s, selling off their old collections, but not this time. Of course, I'll go over everything I did buy later on at home, but this is just a quick montage of things I saw. There was actually a kid selling some older cards here, but yeah, I felt really weird haggling. There are some video games, definitely a lot of shovelware everywhere, lots of FIFAs, and but I did pick up this awesome copy of Pop and Rhythm. That's the one game I did take home, although I don't have a controller for it, so we'll see if I can find one of those. Lots of little binders with random cards. There are some Gen 3, Gen 4, which I was pleased to see. Some of these cards are actually really nice, but they have these watermarks on them that I'm not too fond of. There was this more professional stall that is, I see them every single year, and they always have the same inventory. Of course, they are stocking the most legitimate Pokemon Game Boy cartridges I've ever seen. Have you ever seen a realer copy of Pokemon Emerald? Unfortunately, again, a lot of this stuff is shovelware or fake cartridges, or, you know, you can't really test the cartridges unless you literally bring a Game Boy with you to Koningsdag, but here was a cool stall with a lot of older Pokemon memorabilia. This guy was about my age who was running the stall, and I definitely picked up some cards from his binder. I got the obligatory Carnival mediocre burger. This one was a binder from a slightly older woman, and she was really nice, and she gave me a bunch of cards for, well, I was gonna try and haggle because I didn't really feel bad haggling an adult. But then she just gave me the price I was gonna ask for anyway, so I just took it. It was like 10 euros. This is an art piece I like to call unplanned obsolescence. All of these cameras are worse than my phone, and they're only like 20 years old. And we are back. So let's go over the haul from today. Now, in general, it's kind of difficult to remember which card came from which seller or how much I spent, but I will say I spent significantly less money than I expected to.
The Pokemon cards were there, but they were often poor condition or kind of overpriced. You know, I could get the same card that some kid was selling for €1 in the Eppo for 50 cents, which, you know, is kind of to be expected, but this is what I picked up, and I just wanted to get ones that I really liked and hadn't really seen in one of my local card stores. And I was especially looking forward to finding some holos, such as this Darkrai. This is a newer Darkrai card. I just really like the holo pattern on it. You can't really see it on camera, but it's like vertical lines. I really enjoy that pattern on holos. It's not my favorite pattern, but it's definitely up there, especially when it comes to newer cards. A lot of these were very poor condition, sadly. Like this Darkrai has a nick at the top, but I probably didn't pay more than €1 or 50 cents for it, so I'm not too beat up. A nice Gen 3 Beldum. Actually, let's do it like this. A Duskull, you know, just filling out gaps. Like these are Gen 3 era, so I'm happy to pick them up. A lot of cards, because like I've got to make the purchase quickly. Like there are other people waiting to look at the binders, so I picked them up and then I realized how bad condition they are. This Jolteon is particularly bad. There's some creases, but I really like this artwork. I don't think I was actually missing a Jolteon. I think I had a Jolteon that I didn't really like in my binder already. I think the one Kanto evolution I'm missing is Vaporeon, which is like the favorite one of the three, so I'm like, you're right. This Hibonli is pretty decent condition. It's Gen 2, which is good enough for me. A Pidgeotto. I do have a modern Pidgeotto, but I picked this one up because I saw next to it this Pidgeot, shoutouts to Everett. Now, I was pretty happy with this pickup until I got home and looked up the card and realized that there is actually a holo version of this. Also, I just noticed that is a weird set symbol. I don't know what set symbol that is, because this looks like the base set Pidgeot, but it's a 2002 copyright, so I'm not sure where on earth this Pidgeot actually comes from. I'll have to look that up. Just a random holo Thundurus pickup. I just thought it looked cool. This Linoon, I really like the reverse colorless there. This is an OG Dunsparce from Gen 2. This is Blaine's Tauros. I do really like these gym leader cards. Japanese is no big deal to me, although I did notice just now this crease, so that's kind of lame. I really like this Mareep. I think I already have a Flaffy, and it's Delta species, which is kind of weird, but also kind of cool. Definitely just really like the artwork. I just really like the artwork on this Keldeo, even though it's modern. Whatever. This holo Relicanth is beautiful. I just love the way it shines. I don't think I'm going to replace this for an older Relicanth. This is just a really pretty example. Shinx. This is just the most adorable Yumi artwork ever. Okay, this one's interesting. So I got this matching Reshiram and Zekrom, and these artworks are so beautiful. But the only thing I'm annoyed by is this stamp in the corner. But with artworks this beautiful, I think I'll just live with it. And this is my endgame Reshiram and Zekrom, so I'll take them. Just so pretty, and matching artwork is great. Base set Ivysaur is good. I think, yeah, I already have the Bulbasaur, so looking for that Venusaur. Ralts and Kirlia. I'll show you the other evolution of these I picked up in a minute. Nice Gen 3 examples. Matang to go with the Beldum. This is not base set, but it's what do you call it? The evolutions. I don't really mind base set evolutions. I consider them kind of equal in my binder, at least. These I got from some kid. I think these were from an older seller, the ones I just went through. Just a Gen 2 Whipper, a Jungle Mankey, and a Dark Primeape, so that finishes that one. This Magmar, okay, I got it from the kid, and I was like, oh, I really like this Magmar. It's base set, it's beautiful, I really like the artwork. That's probably my favorite Magmar artwork, so endgame, right? But then I got it, and then I looked at it, and wow, this thing has seen better days. I think it's maybe even been through the washer. Oh man, that's really bad. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. Probably didn't pay more than 20 cents for it, so. Oh well. These sleeves are really nice, by the way. And where's this one? Wow. Yeah, nice sleeves these cards have. Gen 3 Makihita with the e-reader. Gen 2 Grumble. Pineco, a Dark Persian, and I have a Jungle Meowth. So that's a good set. Sudowoodo. And these were from the Older Woman. A really nice Glaceon. This is probably my favorite holo pattern. I don't know what you call it. There's like a specific name for this holo pattern, but it's escaping me. Cosmos, maybe? This is... I don't know why I picked this one up. I don't actually like the artwork at all. But I did find this horsey as well. It's really nice. This Radiant Charizard, I got this from a kid. And I low-key got ripped off. He wanted like 10 euros for it. And I didn't want to haggle him. I already had it in my hand. I was like, oh, well, I'm sure it's worth about that because it's a shiny Charizard. Like, who's not going to pay? Like, the economy nowadays, I can see it going for 10 euros. So I just said, okay. And then I looked it up on TCG Player or Card Market, and it was like 350. Really pretty Radiant Gardevoir, and this was only €1. And I bought this one after I bought this one from another seller, and I was like, oh shit, I paid 10 euros for this and only 75 cents for this one. I must have overpaid on this one, and that's when I looked it up. But absolutely amazing artwork on both of these cards, and amazing foil pattern, and they're shiny, so can't really complain. I think, does this sort of go with, yeah, I guess it's the same floor pattern and everything. Although the artwork doesn't really match. Who's the illustrator? Is it the same set? Yeah, it's the same set, so fair enough, I guess. Oh, this was definitely my favorite pickup of the day. This Deoxys. It says €5. I actually got it for cheaper because all of the cards I bought from this seller, he just gave them all to me for 10 euros. I bought a bunch. I think... I can't remember which ones were from him. I think a bunch of these unsleeved ones were part of that €10 deal. So effectively I got it for like €2, I guess. Yeah, it's Gen 3 print. It's a Delta species, which I really like. And just the foil and the design and everything is... It's really up my street, I guess you could say. And then... lastly, we've got this base set Vulpix. I really like the base set Ninetales. I hope I can get one eventually. Another Manaphy, or not another Manaphy, another card with this nice holo pattern, and it's a Manaphy. And another Evolution, a Leafeon. So, that was a fairly okay haul. It wasn't as crazy as I was expecting it to be, but there's definitely some really standout pickups from those cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and put all of these cards into my binder and log them in my spreadsheet. And there we have it. Kanto now over the 100 mark, and we have some absolutely beautiful pages. I mean, look at this. This is exactly what I was hoping for with this project. A complete page of just vintage goodness. And one card, there's another complete page. Well, this Psyduck is kind of sticking out a little. This is what I mean. You know, they gotta have the same layout, right? One thing I wanted to look at, it's actually quite far away. It's in Gen 3. This Radiant Gardevoir is so pretty. I was just sitting staring at this card for like 5 minutes. I had to call my partner over and just, hey, look at how the light is shining on this Gardevoir. It's so pretty. And the camera is not going to pick it up or do it justice, but this is just the nicest holo I think I've ever seen. Sure, it doesn't match with the other cards, but it's actually not too bad. Also, anti-shoutouts to Gen 3 cards not having the Pokédex number printed on the card. Very annoying to sort. So all in all, definitely getting some progress in. I was kind of shocked and horrified at just how bad the condition of some of these cards were. It's really hard to, like, you know, look at that kind of stuff when you're trying to haggle with children. So these are the cards that I swapped out of my binder in order to fit these ones in because it turns out I had another copy already. And I didn't realize that Gumi is actually a Gen 6 Pokemon. I was thinking that it was Gen 5 this whole time. So I guess that's not going in the binder. But yeah, I was actually a bigger fan of my vintage Seadra. And of course I had a Pidgeotto already. One thing I do want to mention is that there's something to be said about these flea markets, and there's some people who just sell a huge amount of bulk, just commons, for like 50 euros. And if I were to buy a huge amount of bulk like that, I would just complete this project in like instantly, right? Like I'd be able to fill out these random slots with like just cards I don't care about that mean nothing to me. And well, that would fulfill the budget angle, and it would fulfill the Pokedex angle. I wouldn't really get anything out of it, and the series would be quite boring. So that's not why I'm not just gonna go on eBay or, you know, to one of these flea markets and just buy out a bunch of bulk, because who wants to watch that and who wants to collect that? Nobody wants to collect that. There's a reason why it's being sold for so cheap. Maybe if you were playing the card game, that's something that you can consider, but not really my desire. So I hoped you enjoyed this episode. It was kind of a little bit shorter. I decided not to do the time lapse, and I'm looking for your feedback on that. Do you prefer having the time lapse, or has it run its course? And I should just skip straight to the point of the spreadsheet and showing the binder aftermath. Let me know in the comments. And I have filled out a few more evolutions, and I was just thinking, it's not in this binder, but I got a Glaceon and a Leafeon. I'm wondering what everyone's favorite evolution is. Personally, I like Eevee the most out of all of the evolutions, but I guess that's not a valid answer. So I'm going to say Flareon, and I'm really looking forward to getting a better Flareon card. Next week's episode is going to be another special one. I'm going to be going to a local, or not local, it's within the same country. I'm going to be going to a card convention that my coworker told me about, and I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of interesting collectors stalls I can find out about there. So yeah, that'll be very exciting, and I'll definitely expect it to be the greatest haul of the series so far. And look at that. It's just nice to see this huge swath of good cards. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.